For this week, I'll do a few more green concepts, and next week, I'll return to some normal builds. After all, some stores are doing pre-release up to this Friday, which means more fun variants for you. Today's build focuses on something interesting that I came across from one of my comments, and is in regards to the viability of board wipers in this format. That's right, I'm looking at you, Nidhoggmon. Nidhoggmon is an old card way back from BT4 Great Legends. This card was an amazing board wiper for the fact that it could suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less, then place all of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom in any order, and trash the Digivolution cards. But with the hefty Digivolution cost of 5 and the requirements of Digi-Burst 4, how viable is it now? EX2 Gummymon is the egg choice for this deck, mainly because you don't run a lot of tamers in this build. Looking over briefly, this deck only runs 2 tamers, meaning running the new Gummymon would not be recommended. Other options you could run would be the Kokomon or the Nyaromon for the extra DP buffs while you're suspended. But for level 3s, the entire lineup is predominantly palmon, because BT14 palmon again can do some hilarious things. By promoting this Digimon out, you can make it so that one of your opponent's Digimon loses 2 memory when it's suspended. Combo this with Palmon X and you can immediately have your opponent lose 2 memory. But the promo Palmon is also present for some Digi-Burst shenanigans, and there's another Digimon that this deck utilizes for some super aggressive checks. Finally, you have 2 Pomumons that can prevent your opponent from playing Digimon by card effects. While minor, you could utilize Terriermon as well to prevent memory gain. Like the Rosemon variant, I utilize BT1 togemons to add 1 level 5 or higher Digimon when digivolving. BT14 for playing my tamers for reduced cost by 3, and also reducing the Digivolution cost by 1 with a green tamer in play. But of course Weedmon joins the ranks here for some memory tricks, especially when Digibursted for Nidhoggmon's effect. And of course Togemon X for the X evolution climb. Lillymons are also utilized to increase your draw power, whether it be the starter deck variant that adds a level 6 or higher Digimon, or the Lillymon X that adds potentially a lot of cards in this format for you to dig deeper for each suspended Digimon your opponent has. Your level 6s could be that Nidhoggmon or even that quartzmon. But ultimately, because Palmon and her Digivolution line now have X evolution sources, this removes the need for you to guarantee to have that level 2 in your Digivolution line to Digi-Burst 4, making Nidhoggmon a very effective boss monster in this format. While true, Nidhoggmon can be a very effective boss monster, needing those 4 Digivolution sources can also be a hassle. Rather than depending on them, this card is at 2 for this list, because once you board wipe once, it swings the game state massively in your favor. But in test games, the promo Grankuwagamon is definitely the MVP, for being able to check not just 1, but potentially 4 security in 1 turn. The last level 6 option, of course, goes to Mega Gargomon Ace, for its cheekiness to be blast digivolved into, suspend, stun from digivolving, and block in one go. One thing I'd also like to comment on from previous videos is that this Digimon is machine, meaning you could very well tech this into a green insectoid deck that's running Kokuomon X as well. Give it a go. But lastly, for Digimon, Quartzmon is the big bad that makes yet another appearance in this line, because if your opponent has it, you having one as well can turn the game into purely a deck out match or promote up one at a time. And considering you have ways to bottom deck their Quartzmon, this gives you a heavy advantage. Option card wise, you mandatory run 4 copies of Agility Training to glean 2 cards off the top and add 1. Because everything is green, you're always guaranteed something. But also, these are extremely useful for making your Nidhoggmons go from 5 to 3. Your other options come in the form of Giant Missile, which, as I've already commented on this option card a lot, it does 3 things for you against potentially 3 different targets. And finally, Mimi Tachikawa for the extra promotes and Digigag Hatch. Because with Nidhoggmon sitting on board, this gives you a presence each turn to start promoting out new attackers, assuming your opponent has unlocked your tamers down or has you Quartzmon. Generally speaking, in some quick playtesting, this deck is hilarious whether you go off on the Nidhoggmon or the Grankuwagamon. Alas, this is probably a reason why you'll never see Grankuwagamon Unlimited again. But with security control always existing, you never know. What are your thoughts on this variant, and do you think you'll be splashing Nidhoggmon into your green tournament decks, or even Mega Gargomon Ace into an Insectoid build? Let me know your thoughts, because tomorrow I cover another topic that I think a lot of players have been thinking about. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.